The tarmac at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York was buzzing with anticipation. Media helicopters circled overhead. A massive crowd of Filipino fans, their flags waving proudly, had gathered outside the private terminal, their chants of Laban, Alex, echoing through the humid August air. Alexandra Eala had arrived in the Big Apple. The 21-year-old from Quezon City had just completed one of the most spectacular seasons in recent tennis memory. She had played more matches than any other player on the WTA Tour. She had captured her first WTA Tour singles title in Washington, becoming the first Filipino, indeed the first Southeast Asian, to achieve that feat. She had reached the fourth round at Wimbledon, stunning defending champion Iga Swiatek on center court. She had climbed to a career-high world number 18, set to become the highest-seeded Filipino singles player in a Grand Slam in history. She had packed stadiums from Washington to Toronto to Cincinnati, turning tennis tournaments into cultural celebrations. But this was different. This was New York. This was the U.S. Open, the final Grand Slam of the season, the biggest stage in tennis. And waiting for her at the airport, in a moment that would stun the tennis world, was a legend, Serena Williams. The 23-time Grand Slam singles champion, the greatest player in the history of women's tennis, the woman who had redefined the sport with her power, her grace, and her unshakable belief in herself, had come to welcome Eala to New York. The 44-year-old icon, who had recently returned to the WTA Tour after a 4-year retirement, was there to greet the young star who had grown up idolizing her. The images captured by the media were nothing short of breathtaking. Serena, dressed in a stunning red ensemble, embraced Eala warmly on the tarmac. The two women smiled for the cameras, their bond evident to everyone watching. Fans erupted. Social media exploded. The tennis world was stunned. Of course, she is the great and such an inspiration, Eala had said of Serena just weeks earlier. To be able to see that firsthand and experience the tour at the same time as her is something I'll remember for life. Now, the world was seeing exactly what Eala meant. Welcome to the story of a champion's arrival, a legend's embrace, and a young woman who was about to take the biggest stage in tennis by storm. August 19, 2026. New York City. John F. Kennedy International Airport. The private terminal had been transformed into a media frenzy. Reporters from around the world had gathered, their cameras ready, their questions prepared. But nothing could have prepared them for the scene that was about to unfold. Alexandra Eala stepped off the private jet, her Nike Court U.S. Open outfit already making headlines. The striking blue dress, with its basketball-inspired mesh detailing, was a statement, a declaration that she had arrived. "Strike first in this lightweight, slam-ready dress," read the description from Nike. Its basketball-inspired detailing helps Nike's elite tennis players feel like they've won before they even step on the court. And then, the unexpected. A black SUV pulled up to the tarmac. The door opened, and out stepped Serena Williams. The tennis world collectively gasped. Serena, who had been scheduled to arrive in New York later in the week for her own U.S. Open preparations, had made a special trip to greet her young admirer. The 23-time Grand Slam champion, the woman who had won more major singles titles than anyone in the Open era, was there to welcome Eala to the city that never sleeps. The embrace between the two women was warm and genuine. Serena placed a hand on Eala's shoulder, whispered something in her ear, and the young Filipina beamed with joy. The cameras captured every moment. The images would soon go viral. Even if I don't get any interactions with her, it would still be an honor just to be in that same space, Eala had said of Serena just weeks earlier. Now, she was getting far more than a passing glance. She was getting a personal welcome from the greatest champion in tennis history. This was not just a casual greeting. This was a passing of the torch, a recognition that Eala had arrived, a statement from the greatest champion in tennis history that the future of the sport was in good hands. I did not think that I would be able to experience that in my lifetime. To be on the tour while Serena is competing as well, Eala had said. It's a major honor to be sharing the tour with Serena Williams. Now, that honor had taken on a whole new dimension. To understand why Serena Williams' welcome meant so much, you have to understand the journey that brought Eala to this moment. It was a story of resilience, determination, and an unwavering belief in oneself. Eala was born on May 23, 2005, in Quezon City, Philippines. She picked up a tennis racket at just 4 years old. By the age of 11, she had already made her mark. When she was just 13 years old, the Rafa Nadal Academy reached out, a turning point that would reshape not just her career, but the future of Philippine tennis. The 2026 season marked her arrival. In February, she reached the quarterfinals of the Dubai Tennis Championships. In March, she reached the quarterfinals of the Miami Open for the second year in a row. In June, she reached the semi-finals of the Berlin Open. In July, she reached the fourth round at Wimbledon, a historic achievement that made her the first Filipino to reach the second week of a Grand Slam in the Open era. At Wimbledon, she stunned defending champion Iga Swiatek with a commanding 7-6, 9, 6-2 victory. The match attracted several high-profile spectators, including Grand Slam legend Roger Federer. Then came Washington. Eala entered the tournament as an unseeded player, ranked number 28 in the world, without any expectations from the tennis establishment. The tournament was stacked with champions: Olympic gold medalist Zheng Qinwen, defending champion Leylah Fernandez, world number 10 Alina Svitolina, four-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka, and world number 3 Jessica Pegula. Eala defeated every single one of them. The win made her the first Filipino to win a WTA Tour singles crown and propelled her from number 28 to number 20 in the WTA rankings. She had added 500 ranking points to her total, the biggest single tournament haul of her career. It was during this remarkable run that Eala's connection with the Williams family blossomed. She had already partnered with Venus Williams in doubles at the Bad Homburg Open and the Canadian Open. Now, she was being welcomed to New York by Serena herself. "For me, it's super inspiring," Eala had said of the Williams sisters. "The things that the Williams sisters have done for tennis are incredible. They just keep doing it and keep helping us, especially the women in sports." The bond between Eala and the Williams sisters had grown beyond tennis. Venus had become a mentor, a supporter, a friend. Serena had become a source of inspiration and validation. And now, in New York, both sisters were embracing Eala as part of the tennis family. Eala's arrival in New York was not just about tennis. It was about something far bigger, far more profound. She had become a symbol. She had become a source of pride for a nation of over 110 million people. She had become a gathering point for the Filipino diaspora, a way for people scattered across the globe to connect with their heritage, to celebrate their identity, to feel united in a shared purpose. The numbers told the story. In Washington, organizers had revealed that 80% of ticket inquiries asked about Eala's match schedule. In Toronto, every match she played sold out in advance. In Cincinnati, the 11,614-seat center court was packed to capacity. The tournament had drawn record crowds. Filipino fans had traveled from across the United States to support her. The phenomenon had even caught the attention of the sport's biggest stars. Coco Gauff had praised Eala for bringing a new demographic to the WTA Tour. Naomi Osaka had described Eala's matches as more like a basketball game than a tennis match. And now, New York was about to experience the full force of Eala-mania. The U.S. Open is the biggest stage in tennis. The 23,771-seat Arthur Ashe Stadium is the largest tennis stadium in the world. It is where legends are made, where careers are defined, where champions are crowned. And Eala was set to make her debut on its hallowed courts. With Eala set to be seated at the U.S. Open, she would have a chance to play lower-ranked players in the opening rounds and make progress in the tournament. Her debut on the showpiece Arthur Ashe Stadium night session was a strong possibility. Her best performance at the U.S. Open at last year's tournament, where she won her first match in a Grand Slam before losing in the second round. She was a more rounded player 12 months on, and if she enjoyed a good run in New York, she could be knocking on the door of a place in the top 10 of the WTA rankings by the end of 2026. "I'm really happy with my debut, but I've always focused on the next thing," Eala had said after her Cincinnati run. Now, the next thing was the U.S. Open. Serena Williams' welcome was more than just a gesture of friendship. It was a recognition that Eala had arrived, that she belonged, that she was ready to take on the world. Serena Williams knows what it takes to win the U.S. Open. She has done it 6 times. She knows what it feels like to walk onto Arthur Ashe Stadium, to face the pressure, to rise to the occasion. and she sees something special in Eala. Eala had already drawn Serena comparisons from tennis legends. Greg Rosetsky, the former British #1, had noted that Eala's star power and rapid ascent were reminiscent of Serena's own rise. Eala's title run and star power drew Serena comparisons from Greg Rosetsky, the reports noted. But Serena's welcome was about more than just Eala's tennis ability. It was about her character, her resilience, her grace under pressure. She is the great and such an inspiration, Eala had said of Serena. Now, Serena was returning the compliment. I did not think that I would be able to experience that in my lifetime. To be on the tour while Serena is competing as well, Eala had said. It's a major honor to be sharing the tour with Serena Williams. Venus Williams had already paved the way. After partnering with Eala in Toronto, Venus had jokingly suggested that Eala should add Serena to her list of dream doubles partners. Yeah, I think Alex has got to put on her list to play with Serena one day, Venus had said. Then she can complete the Williams sisters. Now, that dream was one step closer to becoming reality. I think when I'm on court with Venus, there's a lot I can learn about mentality, Eala had said. When I'm on court with her, it also pushes me to kind of match her energy. Now, with Serena welcoming her to New York, Eala had the opportunity to learn from both sisters. The U.S. Open mixed doubles field had already been announced, and Eala was set to partner with Canada's Felix Auger-Aliassime. Meanwhile, Serena Williams was still considering her own participation. But regardless of what happened on the court, the bond between Eala and the Williams sisters had already been forged. August 2026. New York City. Flushing Meadows. The U.S. Open. The stands are filled with Filipino flags, the same sea of red, white, blue, and yellow that followed Eala from Washington to Toronto to Cincinnati and now to New York. The fans are loud, proud, and unwavering. They have traveled from across the United States, from Canada, from the Philippines itself, to witness history. Eala walks onto the court with the confidence of a champion. She has been here before. She knows what it takes to win, and she is ready to make a statement. Her opponent is a dangerous player, but Eala is not intimidated. She has faced tougher opponents, overcome greater odds, and emerged victorious. She has beaten Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon. She has beaten Jessica Pegula in the Washington final. She has beaten Zheng Qinwen, Leylah Fernandez, Alina Svitolina, and Naomi Osaka. From the very first point, Eala takes control. Her serve is dialed in, her ground strokes are precise, and her movement is effortless. The crowd roars with every point, their chants echoing through the stadium. The Filipina sensation is playing like a woman possessed. The match is a battle. As predicted, her opponent fights back, pushing Eala to her limits. But this time, Eala does not waver. She does not let the pressure rattle her. She does not let the ghosts of past losses creep back into her mind. She does what champions do. She regroups. She refocuses. And she unleashes a barrage of tennis that her opponent simply cannot handle. The victory is sealed. Eala advances, her U.S. Open campaign off to a winning start. The crowd erupts. The flags wave. And the tennis world takes notice. After the match, Eala is asked about Serena Williams' welcome. She smiles, her eyes filled with emotion. It's an amazing experience, she says. To have Serena Williams welcome me to New York, to have her believe in me, it means the world. She pauses, reflecting on what the support means to her. Even if I don't get any interactions with her, it would still be an honor just to be in that same space. Maraming salamat sa mga kababayan natin sa Lahaing Ginawa Nyo Mula sa Washington hanggang Toronto, at sa Lahaing Gagawin Nyo pa Parati, kayong sumasuporta at nagdadasal. Parati kayong nagpupyat kaya tuloy-tuloy lang akong magdatrabaho para sa inyo. The crowd goes absolutely mad. Alexandra Eala has not just won a match. She has proven that the fans who rushed to see her were right to believe. She has proven that she belongs among the greats. And she has proven that she is just getting started. From the cracked courts of Quezon City, where tennis was a luxury, to the center courts of New York, where she has been welcomed by the greatest champion in tennis history, Alexandra Eala has proven that champions don't just win matches, they move mountains. And Serena Williams, the 23-time Grand Slam champion who had welcomed her to New York, knew it all along. From the cracked courts of Quezon City to the center courts of New York, where she has been welcomed by the greatest champion in tennis history, Alexandra Eala has proven that champions don't just win matches, they move mountains. And Serena Williams, the 23-time Grand Slam champion who had once inspired a young girl from the Philippines to dream big, now knows that the Alex Eala phenomenon is unlike anything she has ever witnessed. The US Open will never be the same. The tennis world is stunned, and Alex Eala is just getting started.